Welcome to the official deep dive into Piggy Intercity. For those of you who are unaware, Piggy Intercity is a multiplayer open-world RPG on Roblox, but it is so much more than that. This game is so ambitious and gigantic, in fact, that it would be impossible to cover every aspect of it in full detail in this video. Also, for those seeking a quicker overview of what this game has to offer, check out the official trailer. A link is provided in the description below. With that being said, there's so much ground to cover, so let's get straight into it. Piggy Intercity is, at its core, a choice-driven open-world role-playing adventure game. It takes place 10 years after an infection breaks out in Avalia, which is a continent inhabited by anthropomorphic animals. This infection mutates those animals who are exposed to it into monsters. The game focuses on all kinds of different communities thriving through a post-apocalypse, each with their own ideas about how to deal with it, and more importantly, how to live through it. From the Valkyrie, a military organization working to restore peace to the lands through its might, to the Liberators, a group of survivors taking advantage of the infection in order to begin a revolution, there are many factions that you will encounter in your travels across Avalia. If you've played the original Piggy game, there will be lots of story elements, characters, and references to the original game that will carry over into Intercity. On the other hand, if you've never played Piggy before, don't worry. The game is designed in such a way that anyone can join in and follow the story along without missing out on any important narrative details. You will play as a brand new character you create and play through a story tailored to your decisions. Our biggest goal and challenge with Intercity was to create a game that focused heavily on player freedom. We wanted the player to feel fully immersed in this world as much as possible. We'll get into more specific details throughout this presentation in regards to immersion and player agency, but what better way is there to show player freedom than to demonstrate choices? Choices are everywhere in Piggy Intercity. From creating your character to interacting with NPCs, nearly every choice you make will shape your gameplay and narrative experience. For example, the decisions you are faced with will affect your relationships and reputation with other characters. You can be rude or kind to them, you can learn from them, you can share information with them, you can bargain with them, and in some cases, you can even decide their fates. Be careful though, as most of your decisions in-game are permanent and cannot be reversed. Be cautious and aware of what you do. Your reputation with other NPCs can affect numerous things. For instance, if your reputation around town is really low, the local shopkeeper may increase prices for you, forcing you to spend more at their shop. Your reputation could also affect an NPC's trust in you. Remember, what goes around comes around, and your actions can have serious consequences. Now, let's say another player decides to become enemies with a settlement that you happen to be friends with, and they eliminate the townsfolk. You might think, oh great, now I can't finish any quests or shop there anymore. Well, worry not. Our solution to this dilemma was to ensure that every player has their own quote-unquote world, so important NPCs that another player may have attacked and or defeated may be completely unharmed in your world. But didn't I say this game was multiplayer? Why yes I did. You are able to explore, trade, and interact with other players in your server, and even fight common enemies together such as bandits and the infected. Moreover, if you want to experience the story together with friends, you can still do that too. You can invite your friends into your party and into your world to help take on quests, watch cutscenes, and make important decisions together. Your friends will pause progress on their current save file when joining your party, and temporarily be brought into your save file with all their items still with them. Do keep in mind though that the more friends you have in your party, the more dangerous your enemies will become. Avalia has become a hostile place over the years. Once a peaceful continent where animals work together for prosperity, now a war-torn battlefield littered with dangerous threats of all kinds. You will encounter various types of the infected. There are common infected who are weak alone but stronger in numbers, fast infected who use their speed to subdue their foes, tank infected who can take a beating and are hard hitters, and more, with additional variants to be added in the future. The infected aren't your only threat, however, as no good survivors we like to call bandits will stop at nothing to take you out using all kinds of weapons. Of course, you'll be encountering more than just enemies and communities while you explore Avalia. You'll find an abundance of crates containing valuable items to help you out, from consumables such as food, water, and medical supplies, to weapons, clothing, and even armor. And in order to make exploration feel more immersive, Absolutely nothing will be locked behind a paywall or level barrier. If you can see a location, you can travel there, even at level 1. Is it recommended? Probably not, since enemies can be tougher in some locations. But who are we to stop you? This world is ours just as much as it is yours, so you are free to go wherever you please. With that being said, you are still able to gain experience points as you progress through the game and level up. Instead of keeping content locked behind a certain level, we instead opted to use experience points to represent your character's literal experience in surviving this world. When you level up, you will gain an attribute point which can be spent towards one of 9 attribute upgrades for your character. Some examples are upgrading your health, your hunger, your thirst, your accuracy, how much you can carry, and even the maximum size of your base, which we'll get to later. Again, your choices here are important, as you won't be able to max out all of your level attributes. So, choose what is most important to you and your character. So many choices to make and things to do. Thankfully, there are a few ways for you to unwind from the reality of living through an outbreak. You'll be able to encounter some establishments which offer mini-games for you to play, such as golf and bowling. They offer different levels of difficulty and will provide you with different rewards depending on how you score. There are plenty more mini-games in the works and coming in the future, so stay tuned. If you keep an eye out, I'm sure you'll be able to find hints to upcoming ones across the mainland. All that stuff aside, you know what would be cool? Well, imagine if you could start your own base. Good news for you, you don't need to imagine it because we've already made it a possibility. You'll be able to claim an empty plot of land to place your base at. From there, you'll be able to gather materials and build your own settlement. Once beds are placed, settlers will show up to your base asking to live and work there. They have all kinds of different personalities and skill sets. Their skills will tell you what jobs they are capable of doing and how well they can do them. These jobs make your playthrough easier, as settlers can tend to a farm to get you food, they can work a well to get you fresh water, they can go mining, they can go logging, and others can cook, making delicious stews using whatever ingredients you give them. Be sure to place their appropriate workbench in order for them to do their tasks. There will also be more jobs added in the future to help with some additional tasks, so keep an eye out for those. Well, that covers a lot of content, doesn't it? There are still so many more details about this project that we would love to share, but we would prefer for you to discover those things for yourselves as you explore our game. Which begs the question, when can you play the game? Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to move the release date of Piggy Intercity back from March of 2026 to March of 2027. Just kidding. We do have to move it back, but our new release date will be April 25th, 2026. I know this is disappointing news to you, and it's disappointing to us as well. We've been working on this for years, and we want more than anything to be able to release it to you all to experience it. So why are we delaying it? Well, it's all Gene's fault. Just kidding, we're still doing rigorous testing on the game and encountering lots of bugs such as this one. We want the gameplay experience to be as smooth and as bug-free as possible. For us, it is much more important to have a game that is immersive and runs as well as possible as opposed to releasing something rushed and broken that you'd all wish for us to delay it anyway. We are committed to making this experience feel as fantastic as possible, and by releasing it under these conditions, we'd be going against that. You guys deserve the best, and we will work to give you the best. And also, Gene forced us to delay it. We are so excited for you all to experience what we've given our all over the years. It has been an excruciatingly long journey, and I cannot be any more thankful to have you all here. Whether you are just joining us for the first time, or have been here for years. Thank you all so much, and we genuinely cannot wait to see you all in Intercity. Until next time.